All right, the highlights from GreatStockPicks.com on Monday, December 17th. We had CRUS as one of the stocks on watch. I'll take today's candle out of it to show you why we were watching it. 3 days down, including a gap down to some support there. A lot of support actually in the 25 area. But what did it do today? It gapped up. So I had to switch strategies rather than look for an entry near 25. It was just right out of the gate. Nice volume, nice strength. It wasn't going to chase it. I liked the fact that it took out Friday's high right here. I thought, okay, now taking out Friday's high, everyone short from Friday is underwater, at least at this moment, and maybe a little bit nervous. And keep in mind, these people short down here, it's already fallen for 3 days in near support. So they were kind of chasing anyone, at least that shorted and held overnight from Friday. So now the fact that it took out Friday's high, to me, I'm looking for a pullback here as a viable event. And as it came down here, I went ahead and called it long for the room 2653 with a stop 22 cents below. So right about there's the trigger, and it was off to the races. Well, not off to the races, but it visited the high of the day, flagged, and then continued higher, and really closed at the highs of the day. So we did a good job taking that one without having to chase it at the open. 26.53 moved up 77 cents in our favor, 22 cents risk, but again, you can see from once it hit our entry, never really looked back. We were never underwater. Those are my favorites. Now, the rest of the day, very uneventful for me. I literally missed. I had Citigroup on the video last night, and I missed. It was out of the gate. Beautiful pullback here to the 5.8. For whatever reason, I didn't even have Citigroup on my list. Made it to the video last night, and somehow I managed to skillfully keep it off of my charts somehow. So I missed the run in banks. Wells Fargo, same thing. I mean, banks were so strong today. So you know, not a lot to brag about for me because I missed that run, missed the run in housing. Saw it, but by the time I noticed how strong those were, I felt like I was chasing. So the rest of my calls pretty lackluster today. QIHU, I called an entry. I liked the early strength in it. And where did the entry? 25.76. Trying to use an arrow here. Let me try that again. Right about here somewhere. And the stop was only 16 cents below. And it went to 26 some. Well, you know, I'm not sure how far it moved. It went to 26.18 on 16 cents risk. And I did make some money. I sold into this, and really it just flagged the rest of the day and then kind of closed strong. So could be multi-day, but only made a few sandwiches out of that one. Had a losing trade in X. You know, X very strong on Friday. We showed you the breakout in the video last night. You know, when they gap up the next day, generally I feel like an amateur even trying to trade them on the long side, but it put in a little 5s trigger here and then kind of held up. And I went ahead and called it at 24.32 if it got there, and it triggered right there, thinking we might get, you know, sometimes you get a follow-through day. And the stop was only 12 cents below, but within 5 minutes I was stopped out of that one. 24.32 long, 24.20 stop. MCP, I just made a little bit on and called it at like 10.43 right here, and it only went to 10.59. I scalped some, break even stop on the rest. ARNA was in the video last night. Really liked the daily on this. Intraday was a horrible, just didn't do anything today. You know, this looks like it's wanting to rip to the upside here. Deserves to be back on watch tomorrow, but you really want to see big volume before you probably jump in this one, although it did have decent volume here 10 minutes in. Called it at, I think, 9.22 with a stop 11 cents below. You ready for this? I think it looked like this at the time, so 9.22, and it triggered and did nothing. It didn't stop out, and it didn't break out, and sometimes that happens. There's a good trading lesson right there. As Mark Douglas from Trading the Zone says, anything can happen. It can rip, it can tank to the downside, and it can also do nothing. VVUS, you know, I didn't make a trigger and stop call here, but within 3 to 4 minutes into the session, I typed in VVUS breaking out. This one had the volume. Sometimes you have to jump in these or it waits for that first pullback. Too many things were going on early, and I did not give the chat room a trigger and stop, but I gave several allusions to this one as far as breaking out or pulling back near the 5.8. When it looked, let me get it, when it looked like this, I mentioned it one more time. Talking about the strength and how the daily looks really good, and we had members take it on this kind of little flag break here. Again, I don't want to be deceptive. I did not give at any point today. I didn't say VVUS 1274 trigger 1260 stop. Although that would have made sense because it was kind of breaking the flag here, or on this pullback. Anyway, VVUS, we did have some members take it on this little flag break, even though I didn't give an exact trigger and stop. And look at this, very nice rip there, and an interesting daily there too. Nice breakout today. So within a few minutes, I did identify that breakout, and we did have several people in chat make money off of it. But I can't sit here in the video and say I called it here and my stop was here. I just didn't get it done. Still happy to see some people make money off of it. Let's see, ARNA, MCP, oh, TEVA, TEVA was on watch because it was down this many days in a row to support. I'll tell you why I liked this one at the open. Look what it did. Sold off, takes out the stops below 38 and immediately reverses. Now, I didn't notice it till it was like up here. So then when it flagged here, I went ahead and called it at 38.38. It looked just like this. I called it at 38.38, 38.25 stop. There's the trigger. I'm thinking we're gonna get the high of day break and get a nice move, and it just meanders. It held my stop, and then I finally got the high of day break, and it didn't do much, right? And I sold some up here. I don't know, for maybe 20 cents, and then I went to a break-even stop and stopped out on the rest. So that was extremely uneventful too. It's just one of those days. And I think that was all of my calls for the day. CRUS certainly made up for the small loss in the 12-cent loss in X, and then I had a couple small trades in QIHU and TEVA, and I actually made some money in VVUS as well. So it certainly wasn't a huge day. I somehow, like I said, I skillfully avoided the housing and banking sector, and those were huge. So there was money to be made, good money to be made today. I wasn't in the right place at the right time, but again, made a nice chunk and made my daily goal thanks to CRUS. I'm done babbling. We'll see you guys tomorrow.